Welcome to the RV Game Changer Show with Uncle Bernie. Brought to you by Campers Inn RV, the RVer's trusted resource. If you're interested in RVs as a consumer, service provider, or as a manufacturer of RVs, this show is for you. Here we talk to RV experts, RV manufacturers, lifestyle influencers, service providers, charitable organizations, and component providers with a sole purpose to make RVing more fun and exciting and easier for you and your family. Please subscribe to RV Game Changer with Uncle Bernie on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Of course, find us by searching at RV Game Changer on YouTube. Let's see what we can do to make your life better this week on RV Game Changer. At RV Game Changer, we like to find products that can make RVing more fun and easy for the end user. Then talk about them speaking with company representatives. Today, we have the privilege of speaking with Donna Schmucker, Marketing Director for Gen-Y Hitch. She has been honored by being named RV Pro's 40 Under 40 and SEMA's 35 Under 35. Ladies and gentlemen, Donna Schmucker. Hey, Donna. Thanks for joining the show today.
Hello. Wow. What an introduction.
Well, I didn't have the big loudspeaker on, but I got a big enough voice to do a pretty good job anyway. But, it's really nice to have you on the show. And, I'm just wondering a little bit about this SEMA 35 Under 35. That's a huge car show company, right?
Yeah. Yep. So that is, I believe, the biggest aftermarket automotive show here in the States. And so that's one of our biggest shows of the year. That's down in Las Vegas in the beginning of November. So we've got a big booth there. A lot of our industry partners, business partners are there. So that's always a fun event for us.
All right. So Gen-Y goes there. I didn't know that. I thought you maybe worked for a different company at that time.
No. Yeah. We've got a huge presence there at SEMA.
Oh, fantastic. Now tell us a little bit about your professional history and career and how you came about being the marketing director here at Gen-Y.
Yeah, it was a really unique opportunity when I came here back in 2019. I actually approached Dan and Carl, which Carl is a founder and Dan is our president. I was still in college at the time, and I heard of an opportunity at this small business here in Napanee that was looking for some marketing help. And I was going to college to study marketing and advertising. And so I said, you know what, let's give it a shot. Let's see what opportunity there is with Gen-Y Hitch. And yeah, I came and I fell in love with the company and the values and the culture that they were building. And so they offered me the position shortly after that. And so I started part-time. And then once I graduated college, I began full-time as a marketing director. So yeah, jumped into it with very little knowledge or experience working in the industry. So I had to learn very quickly all things automotive and tried to soak up as much information as I could in that first year. And now here we are 6 years later, and I absolutely love it. I love this industry. I love learning about, new parts and products that are coming out in the market, and could not say enough great things about the Gen-Y Hitch team and the people here.
That's fantastic. Gen-Y has a lot of different products for many different applications. But earlier you mentioned a little bit about the culture and the way the company is run and just the overall vibe at the company. Tell us a little bit more detail about what makes that so special.
Yeah, so really the foundation starts within leadership, right? Within any company. Depends on how leadership, sets the stage and the foundation of how the company is going to be run. And I could not say enough great things of the leadership that we have here. Culture is one of the pillars of who Gen-Y Hitch is. We hire people that have servant-hearted, personalities and traits. Nobody here has the attitude of, hey, that's not my job. I'm not going to touch that task. It's very much, how can I help? I see you're overwhelmed. Is there anything I can take off your plate? And that trickles down to, leadership, down to, somebody that's out in the maintenance, sweeping the floors. It doesn't matter what your title is, what your job role is. Everybody is equal. And that's something that you don't see very often, in this industry or in any industry, much less. So Like I
Wow.
said, that's one of our pillars here.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's an amazing way to run a business, is to really be all at one level and kind of share in the functions of the business. And, it's great that you can count on your colleagues like that. That's just brilliant. And I'm sure that's, one of the reasons why you've been there for 6 years and probably going to be there for a lot longer. You
Yes,
know,
I hope so.
yeah, that's fantastic. To be honest, I haven't really seen too many Gen hitches out there. Uh, I've seen them on a few rigs here and there, and I've always found them very fascinating. Can you tell us a little bit about why the founders were inspired to start a company like this?
Yeah. So Carl was the original founder back in 2011, 2012. And really the idea was sparked out of an issue that he had. He owned a tree trimming business. And at the time, he was getting very frustrated with not having, one hitch that fit all of his applications.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
it would fit multiple trailers, something that, he could switch from, different trucks in his fleet. So what he did was he took receiver tubes and he stacked them up on top of each other because he wanted more adjustability than what his current hitch setup could provide. So he welded those receivers together, stuck a bomb out inside of it, and basically started taking that to the job sites. And pretty quickly, what happened was friends and family were kind of seeing this makeshift contraption. We're like, "Hey, that's actually a really great idea. Could you make me one? Are you selling this?" And so, truly, he started getting more interest and traction with this hitch that he created. And so, what he realized was, hey, this might be a business opportunity. And sure enough, it was. So he partnered with his business partner back then, Joel, who is no longer with our company. He's actually doing missions full time, but he was with Gen-Y Hitch for many, many years and helped build the sales, foundation of who Gen-Y Hitch is today. And so, way back then, a funny story that we tell people today is Carl and Joel were talking with each other and they're like, man, if we could just sell one hitch a day, we're going to have it made. And here we are all these years later, selling anywhere from 3 to 4 to 500 hitches a day. So it's just a
Wow.
testament of their hard work and creativity because, yeah, like you said, we offer a lot of different products. No longer is it just the one stacked receiver tube hitch. We've got, accessories and steps and fifth wheel hitches now. So we're just continuing to innovate and create as we go along.
Well, let's take a look at some of those hitches because there's a lot of different types here. Yeah, so I can see that the Boss or the Mega Duty, those are both kind of stacker hitches like you were talking about, correct?
Yeah, so the Mega Duty would have been kind of the first product that Carl created. Obviously, the first prototype looked a lot different than it does today. We've been able to refine it and make it more user friendly over the years. But then from there, the Boss was created out of another idea that Carl had. Utilizing the technology that is inside of torsion axles, but building it inside of a hitch. So our torsion flex technology, now that's been introduced into multiple product lines, acts as a suspension system for customers. So when they're traveling down the road with a heavy load, the hitch is designed to absorb the movement between your truck and your trailer so that you're experiencing a much more smoother ride and a more enjoyable towing experience.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now, do you mostly do like direct to customer sales, or is it more like as part of a, distributed like in a regular part that you would get for any particular industry?
Yeah, both. We are really available to customers, any way that we can be. So we sell directly through our website, which you're on right now.
Yeah.
We have headquarters here in Napa, Indiana, that customers can come in and purchase products. And then we also sell through distribution channels.
So when did that torsion flex type hitch come into play?
That would have been around 2016 that patent was issued and the product started to be manufactured.
All right, in the RV industry, one of the most popular products that you folks manufacture is the fifth wheel pin box, which is a pretty unique product. It uses that same torsion flex technology, obviously at a very much higher level. Tell us a little bit about what makes that hitch so special and how is it helping the end user?
Yeah, absolutely. So the executive was released back in 2020. Great time to release a new product, right? When
Right.
it was honestly a blessing in disguise because, as we know, the RV industry just boomed during that year as
It
well.
sure did. Yeah.
Yeah, so the executive is offered in two main models. We have what you showed, which was the Kingpin, and then we've also got a gooseneck coupler model. So, yeah, like I mentioned before, that torsion flex technology, we wanted to incorporate it into this product because, as any RVers are aware, when you're towing down the road, you feel every bump, pothole, sharp turn, and you kind of cringe and you white knuckle as you're driving down these rough roads. And
Oh
so,
yeah.
our engineering team said, why don't we take this technology, incorporate it into an RV product, and see what the customer feedback is? And sure enough, it absolutely blew up. We get calls, daily that people are telling us that this is a night and day difference for them. It's protecting them while they're driving down the road. They're not seeing as many damages when they're traveling cross country in their units. They're not, getting jostled around when they're driving down these rough terrains. And so, yeah, we offered first the Kingpin and then the gooseneck model shortly after. And I would say, you know, 9 out of 10 customers we're seeing are choosing the gooseneck coupler model because there's certain benefits, freeing up your truck bed. Customers aren't having to buy the bulky fifth wheel hitch to put in the bed of their truck. So we've really been seeing kind of this movement of customers switching towards the traditional, what you've always seen, Kingpin box to now this gooseneck coupler model.
Yeah, in most cases, a gooseneck scenario can only work in a full length bed, an 8-foot bed, right? But it looks like you folks have come up with a contraption here that works with a puck system to allow for maybe a standard bed length.
Yeah, that's correct. So again, going back to listening to what our customers tell us, we were getting that complaint that users with short beds were having issues with clearance and turning radiuses. And so again, we met with our engineering team, leadership team, and we said, can we create a solution, a product that fixes this problem for our customers? And so the Goose Puck was released. I want to say that was probably about 2 years ago now. And what it is an OEM puck system that offsets your gooseneck ball 5 inches. So it provides better clearance, turning radius for customers, and it connects directly to the puck system in their truck bed.
Well, that is fantastic. And it looks like it's extremely well engineered. I'm sure, your engineers must work really hard to try to make sure that something like that is absolutely safe and functional. And I'm just going to ask you a kind of a random question. Now, compared to traditional pin boxes and goose boxes, does the Gen-Y Hitch change the engineering, or I would say the telemetry of how the weight is distributed in the back of the truck or anything to that nature?
Yeah, I mean, as far as specifics, I would have to revert to our engineering team to kind of give the specifications on that. But the way we engineered, for example, our Kingpin box, so the overall length of it is actually standard to what you see, on the RV market today with typical pin boxes. So we
Okay.
tried to make it within reason as similar to the overall dimensions as what you see on the road today, so that it's not creating more leverage or creating more issues for our customers. So that's one aspect of it. The other key feature that we needed to make sure to include in these was matching the bolt patterns to the most typical and common frame models out on the road, in regards to fifth wheels. And we also, on another note, we offer a lot of custom units. So customers that may have an atypical unit or a really unique bolt pattern, we've created numerous custom units in the past to be able to work with whatever bolt pattern they have on their units.
Well, that's pretty special because I know, firsthand experience that there's a lot of different bolt patterns out there, and they could be off by an eighth of an inch. Like there's just
Right.
such high levels of variability. So it's a big commitment for Gen-Y to do that. So not only do you have several different bolt patterns available and in stock, but you also can customize based on a particular user's needs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a team of inside sales representatives that their sole, well, I shouldn't say sole. There's a lot of things that fall under their role, but
Right.
their number one responsibility is taking care of our customers that call in our phone, that email us, that message us, because we've got, text messaging services on our website, on Facebook. And so their job is to make sure that our customers are taken care of. And if it's within reason and something that we are able to do for them, absolutely, we're going to get that done.
That is fantastic. Let's go back a little bit more to the benefits of the end user, because I've had a lot of customers with fifth wheels, and they complain a lot about, when they're making turns, or if the truck is at one height and the camper's at another height, and how the hitch responds, and the sounds and the vibrations and the squawks and all the squeaks that come out of that. It seems as though that this is not only going to help the driver in their comfort level, but also save a lot of wear and tear on the truck and on the RV itself, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a customer, this was probably 4 years back, who, excuse me, his, daily job was transporting RVs. So he would put thousands and thousands of miles on his truck every month.
Oh, wow.
And he was telling us that, in a typical year, he would have to change out his tires on average 3 to 4 times a year. Once he switched over to our pin box, he noticed that he switched his tires, I want to say it was once or twice that year. So, I mean, splitting that in half with how many times he had to
Wow.
put on new tires on his truck. So we've seen customers, report back from tire wear all the way up to saving fuel, saving up to 3 miles per gallon on their trips. Now, we've never done that testing, so we can't say, hey, this is going to save you 3 miles per gallon. But what we do say is based on customer feedback. And this isn't 1 or 2 customers. This is customers on a, very regular basis calling into us and telling us these reports and findings. So we're very appreciative of those customers that do that, because otherwise we wouldn't have known that. But yeah, like you said, increasing cargo protection, reducing tire wear, not only on their truck, but on their trailers as well. And like I said, overall, the idea was to provide a smoother ride. So, hopefully they're not experiencing as much of those sounds that are, creaking behind them. It's absorbing that inertia. That's the primary job of it.
Yeah, I'm just envisioning bridge abutments on these big interstate highways, right? You're going over a city, and every, 10 yards or so, it's clunk, 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 clunk.
Yeah.
And if you can reduce that shock by, even, 50 or 40% or whatever, that could mean a big difference in the wear and tear on that vehicle for sure.
Yeah, and we believe in our product so much that we offer warranties on it. So there's a 5-year warranty on all the rubber components on our product. We offer a lifetime warranty. So no matter if it's 5 years or 25 years down the road, if there's an issue with the rubber components, you've purchased that lifetime warranty, you're covered, because we know how our products are engineered. We know that they will last.
Yeah, to be able to offer a coverage like that, you must realize that, your products are going to hold up, and you're not going to be paying on that coverage plan as often as you might think, right?
Yes.
So that's great for the people that do a lot of hauling, I would imagine. So if they are traveling all the time and they're putting, 30 to 50,000 miles on their rig a year, that's a lot of miles in a lot of driving. So that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Now I noticed that Gen-Y has become a regular product or a standard OEM for some of the Brinkley line. That's an amazing thing, right? That's obviously Brinkley is a well sought after product line, and they're very highly respected and revered. They got great owners, and for them to take this on and saying, yeah, we want to put this on our coach, there's got to be a reason for that. How do you feel about manufacturers jumping on board and making it a regular part of their product line.
Yeah, we are all for it. We were stoked getting the chance to be able to talk with Brinkley and then um, start the discussion of being an OEM standard for them. We actually have an internal sales representative, Jason, who handles all of our OEM business, and he works very closely to this day with Brinkley, communicating them with on a weekly basis. Is there any issues you guys are experiencing? How can we better help you, assist you? And they're a great partner. We love working with them. They have a very same philosophy in terms of taking care of the customer and doing what's right. And so we're very proud to partner with them.
That's fantastic. I'm sure your engineers between both companies are probably having a great time just communicating back and forth. Hey, we're changing our RV. We're going to be doing this. Maybe we should make an adjustment for a particular pin box for this particular fifth wheel that we're designing. That'd be great collaboration, I'm sure.
Yeah. So about a year ago, we collaborated with them on a testing video, which has since gone viral on YouTube. But it was ultimately to show our customers and our team, hey, we believe in our product, but hey, we're also a little biased because we love Gen-Y Hitch and we love the products we make. So let's get these products third-party tested to show the true benefit of using a Gen-Y Hitch with these Brinkley units. And the results were stellar. I mean, the video, like I said, is on our YouTube channel, but it actually breaks down the testing and what the requirements were and what the results were from those tests that were completed. Again, not by us, but by a third party, so that to show that, we weren't fidgeting with the numbers or tampering with it, but to truly show that this is what we're selling, this is what we believe in, and here's why, here's the results.
That's fantastic. Hey, I know you kind of get down and dirty with some of the folks in the manufacturing facility. And just last week, you released a video that showed the new powder coating area in the plant, right? Do you mind if we take a look at that?
Yeah. So you mean you want to go check it out?
Yeah,
or you
I
want
want
to
to
just
go
kind
check
of
it
talk
out.
about it? Oh,
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, right now. And then
Okay.
we can talk about it some more too, okay?
All right, we can do that.
Let me pull it up. Yeah, go ahead. Keep talking. It'll take me a second.
So that was kind of one of the last puzzle pieces for us in terms of bringing that on into our new building. So we moved into this building about 2 years ago. Did you want to play it? Go for it.
No, go ahead. You keep talking. I'll play it in a minute.
Okay. So yeah, that was kind of the last puzzle pieces for us to be able to bring on our powder coating here in-house, which in the past it was done about a mile or two down the road from us. And so when we moved into this building 2 years ago, we said, man, it's going to be great to be able to have manufacturing, our offices, warehouse, everybody under one roof, and ultimately also have powder coating here as well. So we researched the best
Yeah,
powder
I'm going to
coater.
pull you back up because you're like dancing all over the place. Where are you going?
I know. Oh, I thought you said you wanted to see the powder coating.
Oh, okay. That's okay. We can do both. Yeah. So yeah, show us around a little bit and then I'll do the video.
Okay. So yeah, right now
That's awesome. Thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry, I misunderstood you, Bernie. I thought that's what you were asking.
No, this is much more entertaining.
I don't know what the sound is going to sound like, but feel free to stop me anytime if it gets too muffled.
No problem. Oh, look at this raw stock you have there on the left side. And you got these design machines here for sure.
Yep, so here's some of the tube stock up there. And then
now, what kind of steel is that?
As far as the specifications, I would not be the one to speak on that, but I do know it is North American steel. So
that's wonderful. Yeah, so keep it in the country.
I don't know how much you can see here. Here's the brand new line that we've got operating. So here we've got, and there we got some executives actually, some of the fifth wheel products coming down the line.
Yeah, I see it hanging there. Yeah.
Yeah, so these are actually, funny enough, these are Brinkley units. So Brinkley has an exclusive black matte powder coat that we use for their units. So this is what you're seeing coming down the line right now.
Fantastic. Wow. That is a pretty unique design too, that's for sure.
Yeah. Ooh, it's a lot warmer in here, but we've
Oh.
got all of these executives that are coming out of the oven as well.
Okay, are you getting baked while you're in there too, or no?
Hey, you know, it's actually pretty nice because it's cold here in Indiana today, so it's actually cozy in here.
Oh, good, good, good. Fantastic.
So yeah, there's a little bit of that process.
Well, maybe they're on break or something, so if you don't mind, I'm going to show them in action and you in action on this video,
Yep.
and we'll go from there, okay? And you can keep on
Absolutely.
walking, and we'll catch up to each other.
It's an exciting day here at Gen-Y Hitch headquarters. After months of planning and research, we have been able to bring on our powder coating system here in-house in Napanee, Indiana. We've researched the best equipment, the best systems to create better efficiencies and have the best powder coated products on the market. So behind me, we've got our first batch of products going in the ovens. Let's go check them out. All right, so we're here with Carl. Carl, what are your thoughts on this whole new system and how excited are you for it?
Oh, guys, this is unbelievable. It's like a dream come true. We've been working on this for, what, 6 months?
Yeah.
And to see it come to life, I mean, super stoked about it. I think this will drastically change our quality of powder coating, and we'll have full control over it.
Exciting day here at That's another blooper reel.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I got you goofing off there a little bit. That's fantastic. But man, those ovens, they look so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a little warmer back there.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's great that your folks can do as much as possible in-house, because, you're all-American company. You got all-American workers, all-American steel, and the manufacturing is done here and the design's being done here. And, compared to other hitches that we're looking at, on a day-to-day basis, yours just seems a little bit more space age. There's a lot more going on there when it comes to all those angles, and I'm sure they're done for a particular reason, when it comes to the engineering and the strength and what their payload capacity is going to be, and what kind of forces could they come under, all the screw holes where everything kind of latches together there. Yeah, there's a very complex pattern there for sure. All right.
Our team is innovative, to say the least.
Right. That's fantastic. So I want to go up and take a look at, there was one other product that I wanted to look up real quick. So Donna, I wanted to kind of get back to the hitches again, the ones that have traditional shanks for, trailers per se, and get into more of an RV application. I can see how some of these hitches, like the Boss here and the Mega Duty, how effective they could be when it comes to, say, utility trailers, or if you're a landscaper, or if you have to pull a backhoe or something like that, having a torsion flex Boss would be very helpful. And we'll get into what this other little latches over or adjacent to the ball. Why would someone need something like that?
Yeah, so that is our pintle lock. So that is utilized for pintle, or often called Lynette ring trailers. So it's pretty common in the construction industry. That was just another added feature or benefit, I guess you could say, when we were designing our products. How could we make this hitch, be the last hitch that anybody will ever need? So we tried to include as many application setups or systems into our products as possible. And so that was just another feature. Let's add a pintle lock so that if customers do have a Lynette ring trailer, they can tow it with the same hitch. They don't have to have two separate hitches.
Right. And then when it comes to, say, this torsion flex that's designed for weight distribution, let's see, this one right here, you can get that in 2-inch, 2.5, and 3-inch shanks, correct?
That is correct. Yep. So that is a weight distribution setup. So customers that have existing weight distribution systems can connect to this hitch and utilize it. We are in the works of trying to create our own weight distribution system. That's been a request that we've had for many years. So that is on our new product list of things to develop here soon.
Yeah, so people, in case you don't understand, how that would work, is basically you just remove the traditional shank that comes with the weight distribution kit, and then you can set your height accordingly based on those options that you have there, and then you just latch that ball segment right into it, and then you'd be able to put your weight distribution bars and all that other stuff. So it's not as complicated as it looks, but it gives you that benefit that you'd get from the torsion flex pin box as well. And so it gives you that flexibility in that, when you're going over bridge abutments or potholes or whatever, it has some give, so it is less stress on the tow vehicle as well as the trailer itself.
Yeah, absolutely. You nailed it, Bernie.
Now, is there anything else that Gen-Y currently offers that might be beneficial to either someone who's an RVer or perhaps someone that's into more utilitarian uses for hitches?
Yeah, we have several different products on our website, whether, you have a toter home or a travel trailer or a fifth wheel. We've got products that we try to hit as many markets as we can. We're actually, funny enough, going to be releasing a new product. I believe that would be next week, the 17th.
Okay.
So that's a new release that we're working on, something that I think would be super beneficial for the RV market. So stay tuned for that. That'll be released next week. But we're always...
Send it over to me.
Yes, I will. But yeah, our team is just known for always innovating and trying to come up with better solutions. And so we've got a new product list that's a mile long, and it's not getting any shorter. So we try to release anywhere from one product every quarter is kind of our goal, is to release one new product every quarter. And I think last year we hit a record of 7 new products that we released. So it's fun. It's never a dull moment here.
Yeah, I see that you have a fifth wheel hitch as well, and then you running boards, and there's a lot of step devices too that I saw throughout. There's a whole slew of them on this one page. Hitch step here. Oh my goodness, that's just wonderful. And so you can just slide those right onto one of your other hitches and use that up into your bed of your truck. And what is the Hulk? What is that thing? What does that do?
Yeah, so that is a tow hook, which can also actually be used as a step. We see it more often used as an accessory piece with our customers. But yeah, you can put tow straps around it if you need to pull somebody out of a ditch, or if they're stuck. It's useful for that, but also as a step.
This has been quite an exciting visit here, and I can't thank you enough for spending time with me today. Any final word about why people should look and count on Gen-Y for the hitch needs?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Thank you, Bernie, for having me and giving me the opportunity to share. Ultimately, Gen-Y Hitch is a fantastic company, not only in terms of the products that we build, but how we treat our customers. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So no matter what product you bought, if you don't like it or if you have issues with it, you can always return it back to us. But we're pretty confident that you're going to love our product and that you're going to come back to see what else we have to offer. So we would love to be able to provide whatever products you need as far as towing or, like you said, accessories and steps and things like that. So you can always check us out on our website or on socials.
Hey, everybody. We've been spending a little bit of time here with Donna Schmucker, Marketing Director at Gen-Y Hitch. Donna, thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You as well.
Today's episode of RV Game Changer is brought to you by RVing Today TV. If you're looking for RV Game Changer or anything to do with RVing and camping, you'll bet you'll find it on RVing Today TV. Visit rvgtoday.tv where you'll find a list of stations and networks carrying their shows along with additional stories, news, and contests. To get a hold of me, go to RV Game Changer on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Have a great day and God bless.